This is Tammy with Bar R Barn Quilts. Alright, we are set up. Got all my signs that I'm going to put out. I'm not going to put out anything else. A little bit of... No, might get one more on that big boy. We got all this it. There's me going to be hiding in the back corner. This video is start to finish for the first festival I've ever done. About 2 months prior to this video, I decided to try doing festivals with my barn quilts. So the first idea I had was to build a ground stand that I could lean barn quilts against. So this first section is me building a ground stand. I am drilling holes into brackets. I used U-braces to go through these brackets to hold the rods together. So I'm pressing here and then I'll move on to sanding them down, all the edges and the burrs. So this rebar has the circles already welded on them. You buy them that way. These are electric fencing rods that you use in pastures. Use the brackets, everything, put them together. This worked really well. Here in a second, you'll see I took them horseback riding with us when we put them at our campground. The only issue that I had with that is them getting dirty from the ground. Besides that, they worked really, really well. The main concept of my display was going to be ladders because ladders are transportable. You have many runs on them. You can add hooks to them, hang them on it. You don't have to carry a lot of stuff around to display them. So these were the first 4 ladders I had. I had a total of 7 total. But what you're going to see is me having to do basically minor repairs to each of the ladders. On some of the ladders, you'll see me adding extra boards to them. You'll see me taking cross braces away and adding them. It was basically done so I could add more hooks to each of the ladders. Wanted to keep that X pattern bracing, but once I got measuring, I had to remove it just so I could get another place for a hook. One of the things that I really liked about the ladders is they were all older. They all had different marks on it. You'll see me cleaning some plastic something off of this one. They had writings on them. This belongs to so-and-so. I had on one of them, there was measurements on it where they'd been on the ladder and wrote down the measurements of whatever they were needing to either cut or get or buy. And in total, all the 7 ladders cost under $120. So if you're talking about displays for festivals, that's kind of cheap. I mean, because if you go out and you look at some of the display things on Amazon, it is ridiculous, the pricing. I went and got 3 more ladders by this time. I think I spent 3 or 4 days on ladders, getting them ready and everything. So this cleanup, it doesn't look like a lot, but there was a lot of mess I had at the end of getting those ladders prepped. Most festivals are a rented 10 by 10 spot. You can put a 10 by 10 tent up, without a tent, whatever you guys see in those parameters. So we have this hay deck I built years ago. That's just, as you can see, is just a house for just left junk. Not all junk. It is usable because we still have it, but some of it's junk. So I had this bright idea. I want to go ahead and I want to mock me up a display area because I'm needing to take pictures to send to possible festivals to accept my entry. So this is me cleaning up probably a year's worth of just botched hay. I knew that this was about 11 foot, 10.5 foot area right here. So it's no problem. But then once I got done and I start measuring, you have 4 by 8 sheets. Well, that's 8 feet. I needed 2 more feet. So typical me, let's do things twice. And as usual, I have a lot of helpers. I really did not want to move these again. Now that I got everything cleaned off and moved twice, I started setting up the ladders. When I first started setting these up, I only had the 4. I went and got 3 more and then came back and done them. Now, I lost videos on how I put the hooks on, but here in a second, you're going to just see a video of the hooks. And I just went and bought electrical pipe hooks, and here they are. Everything turned out better than expected. This is what I called the final display. This is what I took pictures of and sent to the different festivals for approval. Once done, I cleaned the deck, and here's the final product. Wanted to make one more display, and here was my inspiration. What I was doing was making a stand for a address sign. I call it mailbox sign, address sign, where it has a barn quilt on it. It has the address, numbers, and the name of the street or the last name of the person. The one I'm making here, I made for my mother-in-law, and she didn't want any of that as far as wording. So she didn't want welcome because she didn't want to welcome people, but she wanted to say howdy. So this is what I made, the barn quilt, which will be another video. But this is the stand for the displays at the festivals. When in doubt, beat the snot out of it. There was a lot of sanding on this project. The boards, I put them together. I made them tight. Well, I made them too tight. So I end up having to sand the sticks down quite a bit, the uprights, to get them to be removable because I was going to transport this. So I didn't want them being in the, what I'm calling the feet. So I sanded all that, got all the edges sanded down. But there was a lot of sanding with this one. You'll see a black beep, power went out. I am marking the feet and the uprights so I know which goes with which and what directions they point. We now have a new addition to the animal kingdom. This is Squeaky. She ran across our yard out of our neighbor's pasture. That was completely random because she shouldn't have been there. And she basically adopted us. She is living in the barn so the dogs don't kill her. I am measuring to get the height that I need to drill holes to run a rod across to hang the sign from. So here I went to the drill press. I am putting holes in each of the uprights. And then once I get done with this, you'll see where I ran a rod through those two uprights to hold the sign. Alright, I used the same electrical fence rod for this as I did for the ground displays. Cleaning up once again. I moved up to the paint room because that's where the barn quilt was. The only money that I spent on this entire setup was the hanging brackets for this barn quilt, which I did it because it's for my mother-in-law. So normally I wouldn't add those because people may not want to hang them like that. I did drill holes in the ends and put Carter keys in them so that the pipe wouldn't slide out. If you look right here, there's a problem. A while ago you saw where the sign was in front of one leg and behind the other. So all I did was I took this leg and I turned it upside down. And that solved that. And then I just You saw earlier I renumbered. So I just renumbered right there. So each of these posts lines up with those numbers. That way I know which way they face. And here's my new display for my festivals. Finally to the festival, 2 months after starting all this. We are in Huntsville, Alabama. I had to drop everything off at the tent, and then I had to move my vehicle and then come back and set up. So what you see here is basically me dropping everything. I had a drop-off time between 9 and 10, and the festival started at 12 and went from 12 to 7 on this day. Alright, we've arrived at the Winterville Festival. We are unloaded. We have went and parked the vehicle, and now we are heading to set up our tent. I'll give a little shot of our tent area right there. We have a corner lot, which I'm happy about because people can see stuff from both sides. We will see how this goes. I'll be here today and then tomorrow as well. From the time I got there to the time I got everything set up, it took me 1 hour. I've never done this before, so besides in the barn. So, it's a learning curve, trying to figure it out, getting everything unloaded, where to put everything, how to hang everything, set everything, maximize space. But considering everything, I think the setup part of this went really well, real easy, and I'm glad that I decided to go with the ladders. I did not use the ground displays because after thinking about it, if I put ground displays, how are they going to walk into the tent? I did not get a lot of footage at the festival either day. A little bit here, a little bit in the evening, and then almost none on Sunday. I thought I would get more, but it was so difficult to try to get any footage whatsoever when you're there by yourself and you can't leave your tent and you can't, move around and see different things. See if you can notice the boo-boo. I sure didn't. Okay, I'll go ahead and tell you. I turned the white any direction sign that has north, south, east, west, the big one on the left. I had it upside down. And 5 minutes before the festival started, a person in another booth said, "Can I fix that?" And they fixed it for me. Here's the video I put on Facebook. Hello everyone, here I got set up at the Winterville Festival that's on the Redstone Arsenal in Huntsville, Alabama. It is going to open up here in about an hour. I think there's over 100 to 115 vendors. This is just one section right here, and there's more over there, and there's more down there. The sun is starting to set. They've got a big old inflatable for the kids to slide down. Santa Claus has already arrived. I've been doing pictures. Here's the aisle that I'm on. We still got plenty of barn quilts that are still here. I've had some people interested. Some business cards. Over here, they've been doing popcorn, so I've been smelling popcorn the entire time. Yes, I'm hungry. And then here they have tacos, which have been smelling amazing. So between them two, I've been hungry for about 4 hours. We still got a couple more hours. I got set up. I got my sleeping bag. I got my Jackery to keep my phone charged so I can watch the Alabama game, and we won't talk about that. And then I got my little heater, and right here's my little peephole to see as people go by and the people watch. I'm sitting here at the festival. I've sold one barn quilt. I've had a lot of interest. A lot of people saying they're pretty and they're cute, and they are adorable, and likes my Highland cow. I had a few people who was going to. Sorry, I'm looking away. There's people walking by. Some people's gotten business cards. Want to email me about making some. So that's a positive. So we're here for another couple hours, and we'll be back tomorrow. Did not get any extra videoing on Sunday except for this setup. Made a few changes, so I just moved everything a little closer. I added a table, and then I also added my iPad showing my barn quilts patterns. We'll see if that helps. Finished the festival, got everything put back in its place in the closet, and called it an evening. Alright, so this is a final recap of this weekend at the festival. I learned a lot. I was able to get everything set up. They provided a 10 by 10 tent. So my display, I was able to get that all laid out. I went in knowing that what I do is not, I don't know if the right word would be, it's not popular, okay? Not well known. Something that's, in my mind, probably more difficult to sell in the South than it is in the Midwest, where Midwest and North you see a lot more barn quilts. But I really had expectations of hopefully selling more than one. I sold one, my Birdie Birds, which is had two birds on one barn quilt, and they bought that to give to their sister for Christmas because she loves birds. I thought that was really, really cool. But I thought I had enough variety in barn quilts, more of the traditional ones, the animals. I had the Highland cow, the birds, I had a cow, a regular cow, had chickens, then more of the traditional patterns. And then I also did, as you saw at the beginning of this video, was the address signs that I could make. I had people that were interested, and they, a lot of people were like, oh, these are so pretty, I like them. But no one really bought. I did give out business cards. One or two might message me, may not, probably won't. Because a lot of time, with business cards, it is what it is. 6 months later, they'll find it whenever they're cleaning out their jacket pockets, to put them away for the summer or something like that. I have a festival in March that I want to go to. And then I'll reevaluate everything. I want to keep, painting, because I love to paint barn quilts. I want to keep painting. I'll keep putting out videos. I'll do Facebook and Instagram. But the realization is, I'm doing this to make extra money, and right now I'm not doing that. So I'm hoping in March, when I go to the next one, it's more of a crafts festival, that I'll be more in what I'll call my element, which I am not an artist by no means. I just paint inside lines. And if you knew me, and when I was a kid, I couldn't paint for diddly squat. I couldn't stay in. I failed staying in the lines in first grade. But we'll see how it goes, and then come that festival, I will see what the future of this will be. Thanks for watching. Love you.